I'm Miss Geringer.
And I'm Dr. Torres.
Welcome to
Braggin' Braggin'. Woo!
So welcome back to Braggin' and Braggin'. We're filming the second part of our little mini series with student stories and where you guys are now and what your stories have been up until now. I'm Dr. Torres. I am faculty here at the university. I also work with all of you guys pretty regularly. Introduce yourself.
I'm Marty Geringer. I'm also faculty at UST, and I'm also one of the learning therapists.
Go ahead.
I'm Victoria Hoffman. I'm the co-host of Braggin' Braggin' and a UST student.
And you're the social media guru.
Yep.
Yeah. And then Deb.
My name is Devin Moultrie. I'm the editor.
And
I'm just starring on this show today, Eric James.
And next, introduce yourself, Mr. Noah.
My name is Noah Alexander. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
And you are one of the editors, yes?
Yeah.
On the production team. All right, so yesterday or last time we recorded, we were talking about you guys' stories, kind of where you started and what your experiences were, and then where you are now. So we'll continue in that vein. I know we were kind of horsing around before we started and talking about all of the things that we do that might be a little different from the way the general public does things. So who wants to start? How did you, let's talk about Devin. How did you end up here at UST?
Well, after I graduated high school, or at least during high school, I kind of want to go to college to see what it's like in college. And then during high school, in Lamar High School, they had this little college corner. I go to prepare for college and stuff like that. And then I was thinking I could be going to University of Houston, but until my mom saw you on one of the news programs and stuff like that, and talked about the Kobe School program, and then now I'm in St. Thomas here now.
And so what was it about this pragmatic studies major that you felt like was a better fit than something in a different school?
I'd say this was a little bit, something I was not really used to, but yet I came with the same mindset, because I just came straight from high school, so I kind of kept in that same mindset. It's like, just do good and just graduated. And if I know it's going to be a hard class, I knew what to do.
So, but what was it about pragmatic studies that made the decision for you? Because remember, this is the only program in the whole United States. It's a college degree program specifically designed for students with learning differences, right? So what was it about this one that was different from other schools? What was it? The smaller classes? We talked last time about smaller classes. Was it the supports? Was it was gorgeous campus?
Actually, it was kind of both. Because in high school, I would say it's high school. There was a lot of kids in one place, and it's like teachers can, especially with some students, will always stop the class just because you do one thing, and they won't go far. But now since there's a smaller class, it's like we can get through things blazing fast.
Yep, we sure can.
And especially the amount of support that we got, it's like I can do work pretty much darn fast.
Yeah, and Eric, what is your experience? So you are here and you're starting in the bachelor's program in the fall. And so you came to us because we know one of the professors, you know one of the professors in the program, Ms. Callagher.
Yes, Ms. Callagher and I, we're friends. I've known her since 8th grade at freshman year high school. She told me about this program, or maybe sophomore year, I don't know. Anyway, she told me about this program, and I was like, oh, I'm starting to weigh my options out and everything. At the time, I wanted to be a mechanic, diesel mechanic and everything. But then I just there was still a part of me that wanted to go to school. So I went to...
Well, and let's go back a little bit.
Yes.
You are a quadruplet.
Yes, I am.
Yes, okay. And so your siblings, you have 2 sisters and a brother. There's 2 girls and 2 boys. And so they were already done with school, or they are finishing school, or when you guys finished high school, what were they doing and what were you doing?
Okay, so matter of fact, yes, I'm a quadruplet. We're all minute apart. So we are, we were purple. We were just, fun stuff. Anyways.
Probably pretty tiny when you were born.
Tinier than a Beanie Baby, I'll put it that way.
Oh wow, that's
As-
tiny.
Little bitty.
I
Little
recall
bitty.
asking my mom, what are these giant stuffed animals? But they were these little tiny trinkets.
Oh.
Anyways, that's how we were so small. Anyways, we graduated high school. I thought I
Okay.
wanted to be a diesel mechanic.
Okay.
And then I was like, no, there's part of me that I wanted to go to college. So I did. Sister went to UNT. She graduated top 10 high school. My other brother, Samuel, he went to Texas A&M University. And then other sister went to Charles State University, which is it's affiliated with Texas A&M. She
Okay.
went for nursing. So going back to being a quadruplet, unfortunately, as being that small, you had some stuff that was not fully developed in
Okay.
the right way.
When you were born.
Yes, when I was born.
Got it.
yes.
Okay.
I had a brain bleed. It
Okay.
healed by itself, my mom said. No doctors, nothing, no treatment. My other sister, she's so smart, but she needs a notepad because she'll forget about it and stuff. So that's
Okay.
like the one that I
Okay.
went to UNT. And then my other sister, she's perfect.
Oh, you're perfect too.
Oh,
You're
of course,
perfect.
of course. I mean, yeah.
Yes, yes.
I'm a stud. I mean,
Yes, absolutely. And so so then this particular major, the pragmatic studies major, is designed for students that have learning differences.
correct.
And so you are like me, you have ADHD.
Yes, I feel like
Yes,
I'm
okay.
one of the higher functioning. That's what I've always, not always known. My mom never would tell me what I would have or this or that because she never wanted me to use my disability as an excuse. She
Okay.
knew, she saw in me, she was like, you can do the work. I'm not telling you because I know you could do it and I'm not going to use it as an excuse.
So then did you grow up feeling like you didn't understand that about yourself, or you felt like, because for my own self,
Yes.
which we were talking about in the last episode, I very much felt like a weirdo, and I knew that, and I mean, I had friends, but I really struggled because I felt like I got on people's nerves all the time. My brain goes faster than everybody else's. I'm like an Energizer bunny. I have energy. I'm 90 miles an hour all of the time. And so I really struggled with that,
Yes.
trying to figure out where I fit in, because the way I looked at things was just different. I had tons of energy I never could figure out how to burn off. And my brain went so much faster than what was happening around me. And so I was frustrated all of
Yes.
the time.
If I had to say, I don't think I felt like that per se, like a weirdo or outcast or whatever. I would always challenge myself. My
Okay.
other brothers and sisters, they were in pre-AP, they were in National Honor Society, they were in dual credit, you name it, like they were in
Mhm.
everything. I would always challenge myself. I was like, no, Mom, this is not unacceptable. This is, how come they're over here and I'm over here? She would always say something like, well, buddy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I would be like, no, I am still your child, and so I have to respect you, but this is also my life, and even though I'm in high school, I still want to, this is the time for me to try to better myself for my future. And so I would honestly try to push myself. Like, for instance, I was taking algebra,
Mm-hmm.
high school class. I would be up there for 4 or 5 hours a day studying. I would make little tiny mistakes, like a negative, a positive, positive, negative. I would put, like I would put the y-axis where it's
Mhm,
supposed to
mhm.
be. I would do the everything right. It would just be like little tiny mistakes. And my professor said I got it.
So that attention to detail. And I
Yes.
think that's probably a similar experience. I know we were getting Vic's stuff in the last episode, similar kind of experience, feeling like I'm spending so much time and I'm putting so much work in, and things are still more difficult than I feel like they should be.
Yes.
So Noah, when you were little, tell me about your experience.
My day is in school. Like, on my first day in kindergarten, the teacher was taught taking raw. But I didn't know how to respond. I didn't say anything. So he mocked me as answer. The school had a mud-made system, so I called my dad to tell him I was at school. The next day I know, my dad is at the school year, and people trying to figure out where it's funny, but at the time, my dad wasn't allowed. My parents decided all back 1 year, which ended up being good and bad. It was good because I got to be with my brother, which made it easier, but it was bad because people thought we were twins and had trouble telling us apart.
All right, so what I heard, Noah, is that when you were in kindergarten, the teacher was taking roll. Tell me if this is what I heard. Teacher was taking roll and didn't give you enough time to respond, and so the teacher marked you absent. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then they called your dad, and so your dad came up to the school, I would imagine, probably freaking out, trying to figure out where in the world is my child, because I dropped him off at school. And so your dad comes up there and gets it all sorted out. And then ultimately what happened was you were held back. You were held back in kindergarten or first grade?
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten, okay. And then, so you said that was a good thing because you got to be with your brother. And I know you and your brother are pretty close, but it was annoying sometimes or a bad thing sometimes because everybody thought you were twins, and couldn't separate you guys out. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And so then when you were going through school, what kinds of things were you noticing about yourself? Like what kinds of, in terms of learning differences or how you see the world or how you process things, what kinds of things were you noticing about yourself?
What was that carries me and you agree and he had to
And say that again. Say that again.
that carries me can program me.
Say it one more time. Do you have it written down?
Yes.
Do you want me to? I can read it if you want, or you can read it. You're doing great.
No. No.
Maybe go back to the one about what kinds of learning differences do you have? Do you have dyslexia? Do you have ADHD? Do you have processing struggles, auditory processing stuff, autism?
And autism.
Autism, okay. And so the way the autism impacts you, you can keep talking about that if you want to.
Like faces, like at least for me, like I also have autism, but my autism is more higher function. So at least that's for my part of autism.
And when you say higher function, what do you mean?
Like I really don't know how to explain it, really, but I know at least for me, autism, at least, I'm not like other kids with autism, at least for mine's more higher function, at least I'm being piggybacked for my mom, so.
So autism, we know that is kind of a spectrum, right? And so not kind of, I guess it is a spectrum. And so we have some people that have autism that are very, very severely impacted, and they have stimulatory kinds of behaviors. They have perseverative interest. They struggle to communicate. There can be some pretty significant difficulties there. And then on the other side of that spectrum, you have people that have similar difficulties, but they don't manifest themselves. And so what I hear you saying is that you are on the side of that spectrum where the difficulties that you have are not as severe and profound and impactful to the outside world.
Yeah, I'll say a little.
And so, good segue there because with Noah said he has autism, and Noah, in my experience with you, you are definitely someone who is on that other side of the spectrum where you're extremely intelligent. But I know, in my experience with you, I know you get a little nervous sometimes talking in public. And so sometimes that's where we can hear the speaking and taking the breath when you're speaking. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. What else do you want to say about that?
autism spectrum disorder with epilepsy.
Your diagnosis is autism spectrum disorder with epilepsy. Oh, okay. I didn't remember the epilepsy part. Okay. And do you feel like it's helpful for people to know that, or do you not like people to know that? I guess we're here on a podcast, so.
I didn't know that exists. I didn't know that was a part of autism.
Well, epilepsy is a health condition.
Well, yeah,
It's not necessarily. Plenty of people have epilepsy and don't have autism, and plenty of people with autism have epilepsy. So, for Noah, it sounds like it's just two different things.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Is there anything else you want to say about that now?
Okay, my best took me to see a doctor when I was 4, and that's when I got my diagnosis. I still had seizures after that, and we went to a neurologist who told me I had epilepsy.
So when you were 4, your parents took you to the doctor. That's when you got your diagnosis, and then they took you to a neurologist, and you found out about the epilepsy.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, keep going.
As these questions was hard, I'm gonna one answers or most choice by writing long answers is harder.
So it's hard for you to write longer answers, and you feel. Did you say you feel like you're better with multiple choice?
Yeah.
That's pretty common in my experience. That's pretty common for students that have autism. Sometimes there's that expressive language difficulty, and so writing
That's for sure me.
expressive language struggle. You struggle with that too.
Yeah,
sometimes?
cause like I know what one word is, but you put another word to me saying things like
Yep,
Just
why?
lost it.
I
Why?
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like what's the point of that?
Yeah.
What's the point of that?
You
Yeah.
know what I hated the most was like standardized tests.
Oh
They would
gosh.
always give you 2 answers that could always be right, but they
Mhm.
would always try to mess you up. And
Yes.
every time one I would pick, it was always the other one.
Yep.
So then I started picking the other one, just to guess and see what would happen.
You mean it's like one of those multiple choices,
Where you
like
just bubble them in.
you can circle 2 and it'd be correct?
Yeah.
I've had those kind of questions before. It's not that bad, but
Oh
I
God.
still
I
think it's
hate it.
ridiculous.
The
I still think
stress.
it's ridiculous.
Oh yes.
But I
Yes.
think that's one thing about this program is not having tests like that.
Yep.
And, getting to do projects hands-on and, I guess the whole experiential learning part of things.
Yeah, and we definitely don't do a lot in terms of testing. That's really not how we do things in most or all of the classes. But I can certainly understand how if expressive language is something that's a challenge, then not having those things to pick from can be really challenging, right? Because then you have to craft the thought yourself, and it's not just about crafting the thought, then it's about getting the language out verbally and or getting the language out in writing.
Mhm.
And so Noah, in my experience with you and what I hear you saying is that getting that stuff out in writing is easier for you than a verbal response. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
But I have to brag on my friend Noah.
Yeah.
I will never forget freshman year, y'all's freshman year. I can't remember what class it was, maybe social media.
Social media probably.
And Noah got up and gave the most incredible, when I tell you I was jaw on the floor, the most incredible presentation. I think it was that, what was it? Like brick to mortar. Remember? It was a social media, a business that started on social media
Yeah.
that now is a brick and mortar.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was it.
That's been my experience with Noah too. When he does presentations, and I know you don't particularly like standing up there,
You're
but
good.
he's very good at that. Very good at that. And he can get his words out. He expresses himself, and we have a running joke that if the world would just be quiet,
Yeah.
just shut up for a second and listen, Noah's got a lot to say, but that would say that's for a lot of people, or maybe even most people that have struggles with language or with executing what they're trying to say verbally. If the world would just be quiet for a second, if there wasn't so much chitta, we call it, right? The monkey brain. If there wasn't so much of that chitta running around, then we could hear what each other is saying, right? And we could understand what each other is saying. So how did we end up here in college then? What was so I know you said that you wanted to go to college, and you said that you guys, college was in the trajectory.
Yeah.
But what was college something that you thought would be an option for you? Did you feel like I'm not going to be able to go, or yes, I can go? You were just looking for the right place. And Noah, for you, because I know Noah was, if I remember right, you were going to go to community college and you took the TSI, right?
Yeah.
And then, and didn't they wanted to put you in some classes that were ridiculous that you didn't need? Wasn't there something like that? They wanted to, you took the TSI and then there was a question about what classes you were going to take. And I think that's when you came our way. I don't remember. Noah, how did you end up here?
I didn't think that college was a possibility, because of the way that I learned. We look at programs and no tests is in here in UTSC. We knew that I would need some help if I was going to make it in college.
You didn't think college was an option for you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that makes me so sad because you're
Incredible.
so brilliant. You are so brilliant, and that's been my experience with you from the time that you interviewed for your admissions interview. Always, and I know we've always been close, and you and I have had a great relationship, but you are by far one of the most brilliant minds that I've ever encountered.
Me too.
I think college is something like really, I said this last episode, I said that like if you don't have a support team, like I came to the school and I knew 0 people, I had 0 friends, I knew no one, I was different, and so like when I started struggling, I just tumbling down.
No, but you know what? No, we
If I
talked
may.
about, wait a minute, we talked about you yesterday in the episode because Vic was telling her story that she started as a traditional student, and by probably October-ish or so, she had reached out to me because she had made friends with you.
Yeah.
She's saying when she first came, she knew no one,
Yeah.
but that you became her school bestie, and that she had learned from some other people that she went to high school with, and because of her friendship with you, that she had learned that there was this other option where she could get the support she needed.
Yeah, because I was gonna drop out.
No.
Yeah.
That's not even a joke. I was gonna drop out and never go back to college because I was never gonna do it again.
Now, if I may,
Yeah.
honestly, so I wasn't saying no, don't do this because this is X, Y, and Z. I was giving her an option. I was pretty much just saying, hey, before you do this, before I want you to actually think about this, try getting extra help, try going to tutoring, because it's like, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, obviously, this program is designed for people who learn differently, and it's phenomenal. But from her going to taking, what was it, like 5 classes? Like
4.
She took like
5 because freshman symposium, but that's not a real class.
What were they?
Philosophy, which I dropped out. I took some theology class, which I decided to not focus on because I prioritized my psychology class on passing that.
Yes.
Some Western history of Western cultures and societies, which from day one I was lost. Like every single day he said, we know this, and I'm sitting here like, I know this? I didn't know this. So
Yeah.
like there was so much that like everyone just knew. I'm horrible with history, dates, remembering all that stuff, and he's just here throwing these numbers around, and I'm going, like, day one I knew I wasn't going to do
Well,
good.
but you told us you have dyslexia, right?
Yeah.
So so
I
one
have
of the
dyslexia,
struggles there.
dysgraphia, and
Yes.
dyslexia.
Yeah, one of the struggles there is with that
Uh-huh.
remembering dates Yeah, for sure, and then the numbers
See-
required. So, but that's what she's saying, Eric, is
Yes.
that having that support system,
Oh, of course.
she was talking about that in the last episode, having that support system was paramount for her.
Mhm.
At the
It was the
time,
difference, really.
Yeah.
between success and like the support system is just doesn't even mean you have to change anything in the classes. It's just being able to feel safe.
correct, yes.
And
Yes.
you know what I mean? Being able
Yes.
to feel safe is so important because how am I supposed to say what I'm feeling if I don't even know what I'm feeling on top of that, you know?
Right,
I
right.
think that's what's so cool about this is like all of our professors, you know, we see that and we
Yeah,
realize
yeah.
in the classroom, like, oh, you just need a second. You want to walk
Exactly,
outside for a minute?
exactly.
And it's okay. Like everything's okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh, you're having a moment. You're being really bizarre. You need to go out.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
never-
yeah.
It's like, oh, you need a second. Great, go on out.
Yeah, yeah,
You need this? Great. Or you don't want to write a paper? You want to do this kind of? Great. Like,
yeah.
you know,
Manifesting what you know is so crucial, and the way that you manifest what you know is also crucial, right? You have to be able to show what you know, but
Yes.
what our society doesn't oftentimes do is make space for showing what you know in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
that's one thing I was trying to actually show, even though I knew what she had, because we would often talk about a lot of different things.
Yeah, yeah.
We're besties or whatever.
Yeah, you guys have always
So-
been really good friends.
Since probably like 2 months in, I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyways, we would talk, and she was like just in her classes. She was stressed. She would come to me for some of her theology questions for help and all. So I remember that freshman year, and so I would try. Honestly, I had trouble with answering, and the only reason I said, before you do this, I would look into these, because even though there are those classes like Western history or whatever it may be, and those classes don't necessarily you need to take them to get a business degree. It's
But
still
here you have to take that
no,
class.
yes, but I was over here like, okay, like I was always taught, don't give up. Americans don't quit. That's how my dad raised me, and I wasn't applying that on you.
I don't
I
think-
was like,
I don't think any amount of support that this school offered would have helped me pass that class without like the teacher being the one to understand the struggles that I had.
Yeah, but I
Yes,
think
and
that's
I
the
was-
point she's making.
Even if
and-
I
and-
went to tutoring and services, that like the 75 million dates, and then putting that in an order,
Right.
and then on top
Correct.
of that, it's we have cultural things under those dates, and it's just like, what is
Yeah, it was
happening?
mind-blowing, I'm
What is
sure.
happening?
I'm sure,
Yeah.
and so I think kudos to Eric for showing you that there was a different way to still get the information you need and still learn the same material, just learn it in a different way and be able to manifest what you know in a different way and have it presented in a different way. Noah and Devin, what has been since because when you started and we as faculty we talk about this all the time and we talk about it with your parents. When you first start your freshman year in college, there's all kinds of adjustments, right? And the first couple weeks are kind of weird and funky for everybody. But by the end of the first semester, certainly by the end of the first year, and now you guys are all going into the bachelor's degree, what have you learned about yourself going through that process? Have you learned about different things that you need? Have you learned about different things that you like? Have you learned that you are more capable than you gave yourself credit for? What have you, and not just Noah and Devin, anybody, what have you guys learned about yourself? You think on that one?
I think that something that I learned from college was my entire life I was put into special needs schools, so I always like chopped up my success to the school and not to me.
Nice.
And you know, when I came here and I joined the program, I realized I'm doing everything everyone else is doing.
Yep.
And
Right, because there's nothing
Just a
special
different way of
needs
thinking.
about this. Yeah,
it's
we
literally
just
all
do
it
it
is.
different.
Just a literally, or just a different way of thinking.
Yep.
People are like,
I
yo,
didn't- I
but
always-
just because you're not taking Western so-and-so or theology
Right, but you're
so-and-so,
still getting the same content.
Yes, you're just
Yeah.
learning in a different mindset, a different way.
That's right, and you're able to process it in a different way.
And I feel like up until college, I didn't give myself any of the credit because I always just said, "Oh, it's because of the school."
And now you can pat
Now
yourself
I
on
see
the back.
that, like, well, even in high school and middle school, you know, that was all me still, you know.
Yeah, good for you.
I love that.
I think that's one thing I learned, honestly. Not necessarily sort of like Victoria was saying about like the school, this and that, but I think I had to learn, was learning things in a different way. Like I grew up in a totally different atmosphere and everything. And needless to say, it's just like I thought the world was just this, but just being around the people like here and being in the class and doing activities and stuff like that, it's given me a different way of thinking and a
Yeah.
different mindset, and I'm really appreciative of that. So I think honestly, that's one thing I would have to say.
Yeah, what about you, Noah?
I like the most of my classes. I do daily life and was my guys I got to look up and talk about current events.
You liked news and daily living.
Yeah.
Ah, good. That's a super cool class. Have you learned about yourself that you are more capable than maybe you thought you were? Have you learned about yourself that you do belong in college? While you're looking for that one, go ahead.
When we were looking into colleges that would work way at my butt, we found out about the primary studies program from my career counselor, TWC. Reach out to talk to tutors there. They just went from there.
And so your career counselor at school was hooked you up with TWC, or TWC career counselor? The TWC one, okay. The TWC counselor was the one that sent you our way.
Yeah.
Well, thank goodness for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you something I've learned about myself, because you guys, you know, we worked on this for years and then we finally launched and followed 21. But what I've learned about myself is that I fit in when I'm in your space. When
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, when I'm in your space, I don't feel like a weirdo.
Mhm.
I feel like I belong. I know, I'm always crying. I feel like I belong here. Like we all understand each other, and we all. Do you know what I mean? And if I'm
Exactly.
if I'm
Exactly,
squirrely,
yeah.
or I fall off the rails, or I go off the handle, that's okay. And
But why do you feel that way?
And we're still.
because I think we're the same.
I think we all support each other.
Yeah,
We're
it's
all
just-
different, but we all support each other.
Yeah, we are
And,
all.
You
We're
know,
all just here in the same place, just trying to do life, just trying to make sense of things and make the world a better place.
Mhm.
And we talk about this all the time. Like sometimes I just need a dose of you guys. Like I just need to be in your space.
Correct.
And so, you know, every time I see Noah, he gives me a hug, and he'll hold my hand almost always, and it is so comforting to me because it's a reminder that I belong here and we're all in the same space. Does that make sense?
Correct.
You always
Yes.
say this, and I'm gonna mess it up, but that's what mine was gonna be. The word, you're so much bigger. How do you say it? You say it all the time.
What?
You're so much bigger than this program is so
Yes.
much bigger than.
Just the room, just the class,
Like-
just the people itself. It gives people a sense of hope.
Yes,
Is that
I
fair?
guess so.
It's just because I think there's this, you know, Maslow, it says that there's a hierarchy of needs, and in that hierarchy is belonging. And
Yeah.
as a social species, we all want to belong somewhere. So we belong in our families, or we belong with our friends, or we belong in our religious institutions, or we belong in our schools, wherever we belong. And for people that are different, or that feel different somehow, there's that hallmark kind of trait where you feel like you don't fit anywhere and you don't belong anywhere. And with you guys, I feel like I belong in this space, and so I'm always grateful when you guys give me that space and when you guys let me be in your space.
Me too, even in the lunchroom.
Oh, I know. I feel like even like when we
let me sit
yes.
there with you for
or
lunch.
or when I'm like, hey, you guys want to go out to eat, or G's like, hey, you want to go out to eat, and you guys go. I'm like, oh my gosh, they want to go. They want to do it because
That's because we're cool.
yes, it certainly makes me feel cool. For sure. Definitely gives us brownie points in the cool department. Yes, see? I'm glad you think so, Noah. Noah thinks we're cool. Look at him.
I know.
See?
We are cool.
That's right, Noah. See, we are. We are. It doesn't get much cooler than us. Right?
I think you said that like the feeling of belonging. That is like in a environment something that I need. It's like the
Mhm.
difference between the worst time in high school and the best time here in college. I never felt like I belonged in high school.
Yeah.
And you know, like I think I kind of when I said support earlier, I meant belonging
Right.
because when I feel like I belong, I feel like I'm doing stuff and you know, I'm doing good at it. Even when I'm struggling, people are seeing that I'm doing good. And I
Right.
never felt that like I never got told I was doing good in high school. I never got told like you know I was doing good, but I never
Yeah.
got told it. And that's the difference.
Right. And then here we are in this little bitty space. I think about this all the time when I'm at the ocean. That here's little bitty me, and
You're gonna say what I'm thinking.
okay, and little bitty me in our little bitty university, in our little bitty classes. All these things feel so little bitty when I'm at the ocean because the ocean is so big. Does that make sense? And then I think when we're looking at big picture in the grand scheme of things, when it's all said and done, and when God calls me home, in this little bitty space that I possessed, I hope that I left it better than I found it. And while I'm here, and this little bitty thing that God gave me of life, while I'm here, I want to feel like I fit. I want to feel like I fit in. I want to feel like I belong, and I don't want to feel like I'm alone. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Well, look no further. You found me.
You are so.
Well, I just
weird.
I just can't understand. It blows my mind. Like, why in high school and middle school and whenever? Like, why could other people not make you feel that way? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, why did it take that long for someone to look at you and say, "What a great job! Like, you're awesome. You're the greatest." Like,
Yeah, but you know what else? We live in a world that says, "Oh, fill your own cup. Oh, don't depend on anybody for anything." I certainly have that. I mean, I'm super independent anyway, in my family structure, in my house, we were very much encouraged to be independent, don't depend on anybody for anything. And I get that expectation, especially as women, we're told, oh, don't depend on anybody for anything. You know what I mean? We were talking about that a little bit before we started filming. But there is that idea that we talk about this too sometimes. Like you just have one person in your corner, right? Just one person in your corner. And sometimes I do want to be on an island. Sometimes I get so irritated with the whole world, and I'm like, the world is just messed up. This is this. What I'm just done. I want to go live on an island, grow mango trees, and that I'm done. And then I think, as comforting as that might be, I think that really, if I peel back the onion, right, and really look kind of, what I'm built of and what I've made of and what makes me feel whole is being in space with other people that are like me.
Exactly.
And I think I would venture to say that most of us are like
but I
that.
also think it goes back to yesterday's conversation on building a relationship. And so if people don't take the time to build a relationship,
Right.
then how are they ever gonna know who you are and
Well, but something else too, when you guys can tell me if you agree or disagree. In my experience, for those of us that do life differently, however that's defined, we learn best through relationships. So if there's no relationship there, I'm probably not going to take much away from that. I may take a couple of tidbits of things, but probably not going to probably not going to be a big takeaway unless it's, you know, something that was scarring or terrible or whatever. But basically, there's got to be a relationship there for me to really grow and progress and learn from.
I was gonna
Right?
say, I think that I do so much better. Like, I feel like now that I'm here and I'm seeing like I think I would have done not maybe better, but I would have been able to feel more comfortable doing stuff like taking leadership positions and doing stuff like that if I had like any support from more than one teacher. Like, I had that one teacher that encouraged me to do stuff, and I always listened to him because I felt like he actually cared about me.
Just a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like now I'm here and like I'm becoming an orientation leader and all this stuff, and that's because I feel like I can because people here support me.
Well, yeah, you're right, because you're not on an island,
Mhm.
and you feel like somebody has your back, and not that someone's tethering you and holding you down and not letting you go, but someone's saying, I got you. You go do you, and I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Whatever you need, I'm right here.
Mhm.
Even if you do something dumb and boneheady,
Yep.
Yeah.
it's fine. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
We will figure it out, right? We don't turn our backs on people that we care about. We will figure it out. So let's move. Let's just. We'll cut you loose and do your thing, and I'm here if you
I don't
need
know
me.
if anyone else is like that, but that's something that
Oh,
I've
I'm totally
realized
like
is
that.
like, you know, if I'm being told throughout the day that I'm doing a good job, even if it's not big things, you know, I will do so much more. I will.
Right, but would you agree too? Not where somebody's like, ooh, like constant compliments. Oh, I like your shirt. Oh, you're so smart.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so
Yeah,
cute.
no,
Oh, you're so
yeah.
good. You're like, okay, that gets to be trite.
Yeah, exactly.
But someone who's really saying like, hey, I noticed this and
Mhm.
and this is good things, etc.
Yeah.
Right?
I
Noah,
do.
are you that way? Devin, are you that way?
Mm,
Or do you feel what I guess bigger or better phrase? Do you feel better when you feel like someone's in your corner, or you're not doing things by yourself, or do you feel are you okay without that?
I'll say with me, sometimes, especially stuff I think is easy, I can take care of myself. Of course, some of this like kind of like hard stuff that I kind of do need that little bit of support
Okay.
and stuff like that. And kind of like, at least kind of guide me through it. If I know I'm doing good, it's like I'll try to continue doing that. Just a little bit of something, I can just tell me what you want me to do, I can go ahead and do it immediately. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Noah? What you got over there? You can say anything you feel like it. Well, he's one of our editors. He kind of has some clout around here.
None.
Kind of got some pull.
I'm laughing at you, Tara.
I know, always.
Always. Always and forever.
I'm glad I provided comic relief, for
do.
sure, right? That's always a good thing.
You don't have anything else to ask
Yeah? What kind of questions you got? Are there any questions that you had on there that you were prepared for that we didn't get to or we didn't ask? Because we can open those up.
I would say that the program works. If you work hard, they will need to take advantage of everything that the program offers. I would also tell them that it's important that they enjoy the college experience and get to know other students who aren't part of the program.
Okay, so yes, so Noah's talking about advice that you would give to other college students, yes? So- Yeah, that leads right into the next episode where we're talking about expectations. So no, we're gonna have to tap into you for that one. So you would suggest that students take advantage of everything that's offered, and really dig in and enjoy your college experience and get to know other people.
Love that.
Yeah, is that where we're at with that? Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you have any other advice for people?
My teachers, y'all just straight, y'all isn't scared.
Wait, start over and say that one again.
My favorite teachers are Dr. Gomez, Dr. Stratton, Dr. Torres, and Miss Garrison.
His favorite teachers are Dr. Gomez, Dr. Stredick. Did I hear Dr. Torres?
You sure did.
I better have, because Noah's my guy. And Miss G.
And me.
Yay! Yay,
See,
you
and I
guys.
thrive on a good compliment. That made my whole day.
Yes.
I don't even have to answer that. I mean,
See,
y'all two
one
know which
night-
ones are the best.
See
I
how
mean,
far one nice thing can go?
See,
I
yes,
love
and
it.
that's what we're talking about is needing
So
that
sweet.
real affirmation. What were your guys' before we close up? What were your guys' favorite classes, or what are your favorite things about the program?
I'll just
Let's
say,
say each of you can give 2 or 3.
because you know what my favorite class is. Cause
Nutrition, health, and fitness. Woo!
only because back in high school I used to play football and rugby.
Uh-huh.
I'm a big sports person when it comes to football
Sure.
and a little bit of rugby. And when I went to college, of course they didn't have football, but
Right.
they did have a similar football which is called flag football. And I actually got a chance to play it, and I actually had fun with that as a club.
Good.
I actually got a chance to play it and stuff like that.
Good. So what are your couple of favorite things, Eric?
Oh yeah, sorry, this guy. Okay, cool. Spacing out for a second. Cool. So I would have to say my favorite would have to be obviously lunch. That's my favorite
Lunch,
class,
okay. Lunch
obviously.
is always favorite, yeah. Always.
But that's why food.
Yeah, I know, right.
Yeah.
So my 2 favorite professors are Dr. Torres and Miss Ganter.
Of
My-
course.
Of
Good
course,
answers.
my favorite class have to be nutrition, health, and fitness.
Of course.
And, I'm sorry,
Oh, it's called experiential
I can't even remember.
learning.
I can't put my finger on it. What is this class?
Experiential
I know, I
learning.
But no, obviously these 2 are my favorite. Our little secret, don't tell anybody else. But anyways, that's
Right, right. Noah, what are a couple of your favorite things about your college experience, about where you're at right now, about your classes?
He said he loved news and daily
He
living.
did say he loved news and daily living, yeah.
The smaller class sizes and the support system is what has helped me the most.
Okay, yeah, yep, for sure, we were talking about that being a kind of a common thread that everyone really loved the smaller class sizes. Because in Prague, you don't have anything ever bigger than 12. And then you have a professor, so there's always no more than 13 people in a group for a class, yeah.
Yeah, small classes and the times are kind of short and stuff like that. Could be a little long, but at the end of the day, it still kind of feels a little short. Because of course, some of the teachers, maybe like you and Dr. Geringer, you don't have to get out that specific time. You can just kind of just get out. That's kind of close.
But then you do have a couple of professors that keep you the whole time,
It's not
right?
me.
And then Vic, what's 1 or 2 of your favorite
My
things?
favorite classes have been both experiential learnings.
Ah.
I loved going to Belize. I want to
Oh, for our study abroad, yep.
I want to do every study abroad that's offered to me.
Uh-huh.
Today was my second favorite when we went to Plant It Forward, and I found out about this new green, and
Citrus lettuce?
it tastes like lemon. It's green like a leaf, but it tastes
Wow.
like lemon, and it was just like I could eat healthy all day if they sold this in the stores.
Yeah, and that
We
was
are
at Planet Forward.
Forward's biggest fan.
Yeah.
Oh,
We had the
nice.
best time. I had the best time.
Yeah, I had so much fun.
And it's called Plant It Forward,
It's
not
a-
Planet. Because at first when you guys were talking about it yesterday, I thought you said Planet Ford, the car dealership.
Plant It Forward.
Plant
and they're
It
connected
Forward.
to UST.
Okay,
Gardens at Guinan.
okay.
What's his name? Farmer
Farmer
Roy sends all of his vegetables, and they've got a partnership.
Perfect, okay.
Very cool.
Colton, did you want to say since you're filming over there, so we won't be able to see you on the YouTube link, but certainly we'll be able to see you hear you. What's 1 or 2 of your favorite things about college or about Prague or whatever?
I'm gonna say probably my favorite classes is my favorite teachers is I'm gonna say Torres, of course, is number 1, of course.
You guys are so charming.
And then 2, golly, this is hard.
There's a lot of great professors.
yeah, I
There's a
think-
lot of great ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think probably maybe 2 and 3. I'm gonna say between Gollinger or what's her name? Probably Dr. Stratus.
Ah, okay. And then what about
I'll
what's
take a tie with her.
what's everybody's or what have you guys in terms of your overall college experience? What have you loved, or what have you learned about yourself that you loved?
Like I said, I never expected to be on the Dean's list on the first year.
Ah,
I didn't
good
expect
one.
that. I
Good
didn't
one.
really not expect that. And also graduated with a summa cum laude. It's like, that's really interesting.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
and I'll say this, throughout the whole thing in college, the lowest grade I ever got was a B minus. Never
Wow.
got below a B minus.
Good
That's
for
all I got.
you. Good for you.
I was like, and I didn't expect to be that, like, especially with short classes, and then not having interrupted half the time. It's like, wow.
That's perfect.
I love that.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I
Yeah.
gotta say that I didn't expect, like, one of the things, I didn't expect to grow so much just knowing who I am and
Mhm.
like I don't know, I have so much hope for what I can do in the future now.
Good. I'm so
I
glad
feel
to
like
hear
there's
that.
there's a lot of things I can do, and you know, I
Good.
didn't feel that before.
Good for you. Good for
I
you.
love that so much.
Noah, do you have anything that's your favorite, or something good, or something you've learned about yourself? You did say you like the small classes. What about something like the
Like clubs.
yeah, or the graduation celebration? Noah had me on that water slide on the cruise ship. I thought I was gonna die.
Hey.
It
Oh
was
my
fun.
gosh.
It was fun.
Yes.
Oh
Hey.
my gosh!
I thought
wish
death was imminent.
I wish I was there for that
And
because I
Noah-
want to see that.
No, Noah
I
and
saw the
Arjun and
pictures. I saw the
Kenneth
pictures.
were, I mean, they must have gone 4 billion times over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
But the slides were fun. But the slides
Oh
were
my gosh.
fun.
And I have pictures of, me getting off the slide looking like, and then the next picture is Noah with a big old smile. So what would you say is something that you really loved, or that's your favorite besides small classes?
Yes, I do. Get a bachelor's degree would help me find a job.
Getting a bachelor's degree that'll help you find a job. Yeah, because all of you guys are going into the bachelor's.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. What about you, Eric?
I'm not as smart. I got my associates.
What?
I'm kidding. Girl, I think.
So tell me we're talking about what is
Oh, I'm
one
sorry.
of your
I was
favorite
following
things.
up. I'm so sorry.
Yes,
I was
yes.
just kind of being smart.
Yes.
So
Always the charmer.
always, and the ladies' man.
Is that your favorite thing?
Obviously. Yeah. Hey, I could raise up women any day.
Oh my goodness.
No. Okay. So my favorite class, or wait, what's
Or whatever, something that you loved about your college experience so far.
Okay. So, God.
One thing.
One thing, wow. Just meeting new friends, meeting, people that would be not just like college friends, but just like lifetime. Like I said, I just figured out the other day that I'm wanting myself to move to the city from a 300-acre ranch. It's
Yeah.
I never thought that would even be possible.
Well, yeah, because I remember when you first got here, if you guys don't know, when he first got here for orientation, he pulled up in my driveway and asked if he could leave his car in the driveway or if it was going to get burglarized. And then he asked if he needed to bring his bulletproof vest with him since he was going to be living in Houston. Yes.
Yeah, no, I had it in the back of my car. I was full ready to get out of my car, put it under my clothes with my 243 strap.
Like
and
I said,
everything.
it's a really good thing.
And my
to
buck
have
knife
in the
to
country.
my boots
Yes,
and
because
everything.
he comes from a ranch in Canton, Texas, with cows and the horses and the whole shebang. So now coming to the big
Here in the
city,
flesh
now
with
you
the-
are a city slicker.
with the city
right?
folk.
And I'm wearing
Yeah.
Vans right now.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks for doing this episode today, you
I
guys.
do have one more question.
Yes.
If all goes well when it comes to the bachelor's program in pragmatic studies, do you think you'd be able to push to its limits and go maybe push to master's?
That's something we can certainly talk about because I know a lot of you guys are going to be going into graduate school.
Yeah, because
Yeah, we can
I
certainly
gotta ask this question while we're at the little graduation thing at Linktree. I asked a question of a different person. I asked this, and he said, "Why not do it?" He
Yeah,
said, "Why not?"
yeah, that's definitely something
I feel like
that
y'all
we
can
talk
push it to
about.
its limits. You could
Project
try to push it to
number
its limits.
72.
Add project number 72 is correct. All right, you guys have a great rest of your day.
And
Thanks
if
for
you-
listening.
If you haven't
Travis.
listened to the first, which was episode 2, that's the first half of
Uh-huh,
what
that's
we're
exactly.
referencing to in this video. So if you haven't watched that, go watch it.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to episode 1 of this, then I mean it's episode 2, but it's episode 1 of this 2-part series.
Yep.
And what were you saying, Noah? I heard you saying something.
At the bachelor's program, I want to get a job. I am looking forward to graduating.
You're looking forward to graduating, and after the bachelor's program, you want to get a job. So graduate school might not be something. You might be sick of school by then.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
And when y'all
Fair
graduate,
enough.
I graduate, and I am having a big party for all of us.
Let's
Bet.
We all
Yes.
graduate at the same time. They
Yes.
graduate with their bachelor's, but I graduate with the doctorate. And we
Yeah.
are having a party.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.
Bye.